The Hall of Fame represents the pinnacle of career achievement for MLB players. There are two ways to get in. One, get 75% of the votes in one of 10 years, beginning 5 years after a player retires. The other way to get in is to be elected by the ERA Committee, formerly known as the Veterans Committee, and for that you need 12 of 16 votes. The criteria the Baseball Writers Association of America is supposed to consider are record, playing ability, integrity, sportsmanship, character, and contributions to teams. To simplify it, I'm going to combine record and playing ability and integrity, sportsmanship, and character and contributions into two categories, basically. I think there is at least one player per position who deserves to be in. In this video, I'm going to make a case for each using the BBWAA's criteria. I'm doing the video in order of position: 1 pitcher, 2 catcher, 3 first base, etc. Let's begin. Pitcher, Curt Schilling. On the mound, he's put up a resume that matches up with just about any Hall of Famer. World Series MVP, 6-time All-Star, 3-time Cy Young runner-up, NLCS MVP, 3-time World Series winner, posting an 11-2 record with a 2.23 ERA with 4 complete games and 2 shutouts. Let's go through the criteria. Record: 216 wins, 146 losses, 79.8 FWAR, 3.46 ERA, 3.18 FIP, 3,116 strikeouts. His strikeouts are more than John Smoltz, Clayton Kershaw, Mike Messina, Tom Glavine, and Jack Morris. He's 12th all-time in win probability added for pitchers and has a lower FIP than Greg Maddux, Fergie Jenkins, and Justin Verlander. Schilling's playing ability was without question. Schilling rose to the occasion when the spotlight was the biggest. In the 1993 NLCS, he threw 16 innings, giving up only 3 earned runs to win NLCS MVP. In the 2001 World Series, he started 3 games, going 1-0 and giving up only 4 runs in 21 1/3 innings with 26 strikeouts and only giving up 2 walks. In terms of integrity, Schilling never got on any steroid lists, never received any suspensions or other disciplinary actions for his play. Character. This is definitely where Schilling has fallen short. From racist and transphobic social media posts, his support of far-right conspiracy theories, and the collapse of 38 studios, which cost Rhode Island taxpayers $75 million. Despite this, I still think he belongs. Ty Cobb fought his own teammates, once assaulted a handicapped man in the stands, and boasted he'd sharpen his spikes to try injuring opposing players with his slides. He received 98.2% of the vote to get into the Hall of Fame. Cap Anson refused to play against black players in the 19th century and was instrumental in keeping baseball segregated for decades. Gaylord Perry openly admitted to doctoring baseballs during his career and even wrote a book called Me and the Spitter while he was an active player. Despite this, Perry received 77.2% of the vote to get into the Hall on his third ballot. There are other examples. If character is a deciding factor, these players and others should be removed from the Hall. If not, you're saying character only matters sometimes. I don't agree with Schilling on his opinions, but he's entitled to those opinions. And I think he did enough to be in the Hall of Fame. Next up, catcher. Russell Martin. Although he didn't win an MVP, he has a body of work that ranks among other Hall of Fame catchers. He went to 4 All-Star games, and he won a Gold Glove and a Silver Slugger. Baseball Reference doesn't love him as much, giving him a 38.6 career WAR, but Fangraphs, which accounts for his framing, has him at 54.5, which is 11th all-time for catchers, ahead of Hall of Famers Joe Mauer, Roy Campanella, and Mickey Cochran. The best Martin finished in MVP voting was 13th in 2014 while playing for the Pittsburgh Pirates. According to an article on Fangraphs, Martin's framing between 2008 and 2018 was worth 17.2 WAR and was second in MLB. He signed with the Blue Jays in November 2014 and was instrumental in guiding their pitching staff to back-to-back ACLS finals in 2015 and 2016. Martin was solid on both sides of the ball, finishing with 191 home runs, 771 RBIs, and 803 runs, He also had 101 stolen bases and had an elite walk rate of 11.9%. Martin was never implicated in any steroid scandals, no suspensions, and his contributions were a central piece of playoff runs in Los Angeles, New York, and Toronto. For 14 seasons, Russell Martin was quietly putting together a Hall of Fame resume that went largely unnoticed by the BBWAA, as evidenced by Martin receiving only 9 votes in 2025, only 2.3%, which removed him for any future ballots. Next up, first baseman Keith Hernandez. I'm actually not really sure why he isn't in. Hernandez was a career .291 hitter with 11 Gold Gloves, 2 Silver Sluggers, and an MVP. He's one of the best defensive first basemen ever. He put up a higher WAR than Todd Helton and has a WRC plus of 131 to Helton's 132. Hernandez is also ahead of Tony Perez in WAR and WRC plus, with a better batting average and on-base percentage with comparable slugging. This despite playing nearly 700 fewer games than Perez. Tony Perez was a 7-time All-Star, but never won a Gold Glove, Silver Slugger, or MVP. In 2024, Helton received 79.7% of the vote on his 6th ballot, while Tony Perez was elected by the Veterans Committee in 2000. Hernandez was a middle-of-the-order hitter on 2 World Series teams, the '62 St. Louis Cardinals and the 1986 Mets. Hernandez was never involved in any scandals or PED accusations. Keith Hernandez checks every box on the list, in my opinion. For second base, Bobby Grich. Grich had a higher WAR than Craig Biggio, Roberto Alomar, and Ryan Sandberg. He's 12th all-time in WRC+, 16th in home runs, and has the 17th highest walk rate. Grich won 4 Gold Gloves, appeared in 6 All-Star games, and has 1 Silver Slugger. In 1973, he led the AL in WAR, but only finished 19th in MVP voting. Grich was never involved in any scandals or steroid connections, and was a pioneer of the all-around second baseman who had power, played good defense, and had a good on-base percentage. Despite this, Grich received only 2.6% of the vote in 1992 and was removed from the ballot after 1 year. For third base, Robin Ventura. More famously known for getting 5 hits off of Nolan Ryan, Ventura put up a solid 16-year career. He had 6 Gold Gloves and 2 All-Star appearances. Despite being a defense-first third baseman, Ventura also had a keen eye at the plate, and of third basemen with 5,000 plate appearances or more, his 13% walk rate is 13th all-time. His defensive fielding is 8th all-time. His wins above replacement is ahead of Hall of Famers Jimmy Collins, Joe Sewell, Deacon White, George Kell, and Pie Traynor. Ventura has no scandals or PED accusations on his record. In terms of sportsmanship, he charged the mound once, that I remember. Unfortunately, Ventura received only 0.5% of the vote in 2018 and was dropped from the ballot. Maybe the ERA committee will get that right one day. For shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. The 2007 NL MVP, 3-time All-Star, Silver Slugger winner, 4 times Gold Glove winner, Rollins is 12th in home runs for shortstops, 10th in runs, 11th in stolen bases. His WRC plus is only 95, but he was still a force on both sides of the ball. He's ahead of Hall of Famers Dave Bancroft, Luis Aparicio, and Vern Stevens in WAR. Rollins had no PED involvement or scandals in his career and was a big part of the Phillies' 2008 World Series run. His contributions redefined the leadoff role with power and defense. Last year, Rollins received 18% of the vote on his 4th ballot, but is still far off. A lot of outfielders end up playing more than one outfield position, so I'm going to lump these 3 together. First, I'll mention Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones. With 70.3% on his 3rd ballot this year, I think Beltran gets in 2026. Jones received 66.2% on his 8th time on the ballot, up 4.6% from the year before. I think Jones gets in 2026 or 2027. The first outfielder on this list is Dwight Evans. Evans was a 3-time All-Star, 8-time Gold Glover, 2-time Silver Slugger, and was 3rd place in the 1981 AL MVP voting. Evans has a solid resume, but seems to have lacked the benchmarks like 500 home runs or 3,000 hits. Despite this, Evans was a complete player, displaying power, patience, and elite defense. He had no PED accusations and anchored Boston's lineup for 2 decades. Evans peaked at 10.4% of the Hall of Fame vote and hopefully can get selected one day by the Era Committee. Next up, Jim Edmonds. For a stretch, it felt like Edmonds was on the highlight reel every night in the summer. Edmonds won 8 Gold Gloves, 1 Silver Slugger, was a 4-time All-Star, and won 1 World Series. During his prime, he was hitting 30 to 40 home runs and 100 RBIs a season. His 132 WRC plus is actually above Ken Griffey Jr.'s 131, with the same batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging. I'm not saying those two are equal, but Edmonds was a better hitter than people seem to remember. Edmonds has no steroid allegations, no scandals, and was known for his work ethic. He was a core part of the early 2000s Cardinals team and was a highlight machine. Unfortunately, the writers didn't see it the same, and he received only 2.5% of the vote in 2016 and was dropped from the ballot. Last but not least, Kenny Lofton. Lofton was a 6-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glover. Lofton led the American League in WAR in 1994, finishing 4th in MVP voting. Lofton is 15th all-time for stolen bases and is 10th amongst outfielders with 622. He hit over 300 8 times and retired with an on-base percentage of .372. He was one of the best leadoff hitters of his era. By F-WAR, Lofton is ahead of Andre Dawson, Dave Winfield, and Ichiro Suzuki. Like the rest of this list, Lofton was never accused of being on steroids, had no scandals in his career, and he played in the postseason 11 times. Despite this impressive resume, Lofton received only 3.2% of the BBWAA vote in 2013 and was removed from the ballot. I think looking back, Lofton is easily a Hall of Famer and deserves to be in. Well, that's my list. If you've stuck around this long, thanks. What do you think? Are there more deserving Hall of Famers that should be in? Do you agree or disagree with my list? Let me know in the comments.